stand and recite the pledge?
He's like something about this.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you call the roll, please, Tammy?
Mr. Irwin?
Here.
Mr. Dalton?
Here.
Ms. Hogan?
Here.
Ms. Madigan?
Here.
All right, we have a quorum, so we will move on to the approval of the minutes of the July 28th meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion. I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any questions on the minutes?
No, sir.
All right, hearing none, all in favor of approval of the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. We'll move on to consideration of claims. And I get a motion to approve the claims.
I will make that motion.
And I'll second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions on the claims? Hearing none, all in favor of approval of the claims, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Claims are approved. Petitions and comments from the floor. If there's anybody who has anything they wish to bring before the commission, please step up to the podium, state your name and address and what you have to say. Seeing none, okay, we will close that and then we will move on to reports. Michael.
Okie dokie. For the property at 15 East US Highway 20, the title work and survey are ordered. With the last 2 weeks, I haven't got an update yet, but I'll get an update on that tomorrow if I can. But those are ordered. The Marquette Greenway Trail didn't have much tree damage because it's mostly open field, so it wasn't a big deal. The concrete work was all complete on Howe Road. Retaining walls complete, railings almost done, boardwalks completed. As of last Friday, we're still waiting for brackets to install the railings. Split rail fence is almost done. There was some wet spots from all the rain before that still hadn't dried out. And once that's dried, they'll finish putting stone. So 2/3 of the length of the trail, the stone base is down. The last section from the BP pipeline to where we're working just off Howe Road wasn't done yet. It was full of water. So once that was dried out, they put stone down. Got a couple of trench drains to put in, then they'll start paving. Once they start paving, they'll go really fast, but it has to be dry to pave. There's just a few little loose ends on it, but they're still under budget. We asked for the second draw of funds from Next Level Trails. So did we get that yet? We got it already, yeah. So we already received that. So we have all the funds in place and we just have to pay the rest of the bills and do the rest of the closeout. So, but that's actually going really well. Even with this delay, it still looks good. If you happen to wander down Howe Road and want to see the end of that, it's pretty neat. We moved a big sign, which went really well. There's a parking lot down at the end of the road there. There's like a switchback ramp, a handicap ramp to get you down onto the trail from the handicap parking spaces. And of course, it has to meet ADA, so it's like a S-shaped concrete ramp to get you down to the boardwalk, and then that connects to the trail and the park and the new park we're building. So actually, it's pretty exciting. It looks really nice. When we were aiming to be completed in the next 2 weeks with the 2 week, pretty much 3 week delay we've got with the storms and the rain. It'll be a little later, but it'll be ready next month. It'll be done in September, and then we'll have a ribbon cutting and hoopla, and hopefully it won't rain like it did when we did the groundbreaking. So, very pleased with the way that project's going. And just another RDA item, the bridge project you saw started on Waverly Road, which again, we have a maximum contribution of $669,000. They sent us a draw of like 572 or something like that. It was lower than that amount for starters. And they've started on the bridge. Supposed to be done October 31st, so barring any unforeseen whatever, but then we'll have our trail section on the side of that. And we're still working on other trail coordination with other projects that Lilly Grant is funding and whatnot. And there's lots of trail stuff going on. We're trying to figure out how to spend other people's money on, so. All those are going really well. You wanna segue into the next item, since I'm still talking for them?
Okay, so we will move on to old business, which is the change order for the Marquette Trail.
So we originally, what we approved before was a not to exceed amount, which was, and I said it wasn't gonna be anywhere near that. And I think our not to exceed was like $92,000. So the actual change order, after we beat the numbers down, is $26,109.19. So this is the real change order that's been vetted and signed off on by the engineer and quite frankly me. But no, we got this down to $26,000. So I'm asking for approval for the change order. That's still, we're still quite significantly under budget on the project, which again is exciting. So it's hard to find projects where something really weird doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. This one, yeah, we explained it before, it was BP, but otherwise it's gone really well. So that's why I'm asking for approval of the $26,109.19 for the change order, the actual change order.
So when we approved in April,
And
I
not to
believe-
exceed,
the not to exceed in April,
yes,
which
is not the actual change order. No.
so
was
that
so we
that,
can
that was
pres-
going to be my question. We didn't already approve because I thought that this change order we already approved.
We approved the amount so we could proceed with the work because we couldn't get the change order until we did the work.
couldn't get the change order. So
Yeah.
got it. So now it's time to officially
So
approve
now
the
we're
change order.
so
which
that
is
not to exceed
26,000.
didn't add to the contract.
Okay.
It was just
This
to allow us to
does
do the
that.
work. This adds to the
Okay.
contract.
Okay, this adds to the contract. Great.
That's not normally how we do it, but since we couldn't get a price until we actually built it, we
I
had to do
see.
it that way.
Thank you.
You're
In
welcome.
that case, I am happy to make a motion to approve change order number 1 in the amount of $26,109.19.
Okay. thank
I
you.
will second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions, additional questions on the change order? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the change order, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the change order is approved.
Thank you.
And now we will move on to new business, which is, it says park updated. So, Brian?
Good evening, Brian Geisky, Director of Parks for Town of Porter. Coming before you tonight with a little bit of an update and a request for some funding for our canoe and kayak launch project at the Waverly Road Bridge on the east arm of the Little Calumet River. So this was a project that came up in our 2018 long-range plan for the parks. It's one that we've been working on design with Shirley Hines Land Trust and the Northwest Indiana Paddlers Association, both of whom have got a lot of background in doing launches like these. Ours is a little bit of a unique situation because the bank is pretty steep there, and so we need to do some concrete work. We do have a number of different funding sources that are going towards this project, including a generous donation from Worthington Steel. We do have an Indiana Dunes tourism grant. We're using some park donation money towards it, and I believe some proceeds from a bond. And then also was looking to get some support from the Redevelopment Commission right now to go towards some of the excavation and concrete work that's required for it. There's going to be 6 to 8 steps that'll go down to a 6-foot concrete platform that's right at the high water mark. And then from that platform, that concrete platform, there will be a gangway that will rise and fall with the height of the river, and as will the kayak launch. Those will be put in on, I believe they're called helical piers. So those are drilled down into the riverbed, and those can be removed if needed in the future. But we're expecting to leave it in year round. And trying trying to think of anything else. So we put this out for, we're waiting on approvals. So we've been working on this project for about 2.5 years. The approvals that we went out for, we didn't get in time last year. We did contract with Butler Fairman Seifert earlier this year that the Parks Department paid for to get all of our DNR, Army Corps Engineer, that type of information out. The approvals came in, surprise, surprise, on August 10th. So of course, right before everything happened, we put out for quotes for the concrete work, since that is the first thing that has to be completed, the excavation and concrete work. I contacted 3 concrete contractors that are licensed in the town of Porter, including Cabes, Epic, and Lambert's Concrete. So those were the 3 places we reached out to. We ended up only hearing back from one of them, which was Cabes Concrete, and they came back with a quote of, I want to make sure you have the right number, $15,369.08. Which is for all of the excavation work, the concrete work, and then restoration there for, this is just the stair portion of the project.
Platform, right, Brian?
Stair, yes, I'm sorry, platform at the top, stairs, platform at the bottom.
Okay.
And I will say that they are a concrete company that has previous experience with Northwest Indiana Paddlers and Shirley Hines. They've done a few launches for them in the past, so they know what they're doing. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Brian, did you create the little spreadsheet that was provided to us by Karen when she gave us this packet? It has the Waverly Road canoe kayak
Yep,
launch.
that's me. Yep.
Okay, so you've got, so with the excavation concrete work, Cape's, Epic, or Lambert's.
Budgeted and then actual
Budgeted 15. Okay, so that so that number is in there. Okay, so that's the number that you got back
from Cabes, yeah.
From Caves. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, overall, it's about a $42,000 and change project.
Yeah.
But it is, like I said, one of the few remaining things on our 2018 long-range improvement plan.
So the $20,000 for RDC Park Capital Project funds, that's part of the $20,000 that RDC incorporates into their annual spending plan specifically for the park department for capital park improvements. So what you're asking for is an additional $15,000 on top of that this year? No.
That 15,000 would be included in that 20,000.
Got it. So we've already agreed to commit $20,000 annually for capital park projects, and you're asking to spend specifically this dollar amount out of that 20.
Correct.
Got it. Thanks.
That makes sense. Thank you for asking that.
Are you asking for new money or the same old money?
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you hadn't gotten to it, that would be my next question.
Yeah.
So what you need from us is approval to spend that for this, or what do you, what is the ask, Brian?
The ask is yes.
Okay.
Yep. Got it.
We allocate the money
Yep,
that we want to possibly spend
Mhm.
in the spending plan. And then when it comes time to actually spend it, whoever it is, in this case, Brian, has to come to us and ask us to spend
Okay.
it, for approval to spend it.
for the specific,
Right.
okay. And just one more question. So you have a very small projected shortfall surplus, well, shortfall, I guess, in this case. What is the plan to,
If we go over,
yeah,
what we would do is we would cut back on signage or something.
okay,
like that.
gotcha.
Something to try and make up the difference. Or we do have additional park donation funds that we could tap into.
Okay,
If this gets approved tonight, when does construction plan to, what's the timeline for construction?
I'd like to get started in the next 2 weeks.
They're prepared to start right away. What does the timeline for the overall project look like once the concrete is done?
We have to have it all completed and ribbon cut on it by mid-November in order to get that $5,000 from Indiana Dunes Tourism. So
Gotcha.
they were very understanding that we weren't able to complete the project last year, and so they extended our grant to this year, and I don't expect that to be extended a third year. So,
But do you expect to have trouble meeting that deadline?
I do not know.
Okay. All right. I don't have any more questions, thanks.
Anybody else? In that case, I look for a motion to approve Cabe's concrete for $15,369.08.
I will make that motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any questions before we vote? No? All right. All in favor of approval, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. You're approved.
I can't wait to see that kayak launch installed. That's really exciting. Thank you, Brian.
It'll be I think I had information that I sent Karen that gave you a background on the project.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, that concludes the new business. Are there any commission comments? All right, hearing none, then I look for a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
We are adjourned.